Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 36th verse of the 11th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the section which describes Krishna's relationship with his queens. And Suta Goswami clarifies a very, very important point in this connection. The verse is as follows. Uddama bhava pishunamala valguhasa vridavaloka nihato madanopi yasam Sammuhya chapam ajahat Sammuhya chapam ajahat pramadottamasta Yasyendriyam vimathitum kuhakairna shekuhu. The meaning of this verse is, although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. Now, Suta Goswami is describing the transcendental quality of the Supreme Lord in his association with his 16,108 queens. What is the spiritual nature of the Lord? He is unagitated by their association. Even though they are very, very beautiful, they have beautiful smiles, they have very, very attractive glances. They can conquer Cupid himself. Cupid generally agitates the mind of materialistic people in this world to get attracted to material beauty. But Cupid himself becomes attracted by the beauty of these queens. And the Lord Shiva is known as a Dhira. But even Lord Shiva, he may fall victim to the attraction of the queens, but the queens can never agitate the senses of the Supreme Lord. Which means that, why did Krishna interact with the queens as if he was engaged in mundane love affair? That is because of their devotion. That will be explained in the later verse. So here it is just stated by Suta Goswami that they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, the path of salvation, that means the path of liberation from this material bondage, or the path going back to Godhead, always forbids the association of women, and the complete Sanatana Dharma or Varnashrama Dharma scheme forbids or restricts association with women. Srila Prabhupada explains elsewhere, 3 of the 4 ashramas completely forbid association with women. Brahmachari ashram, Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyasa ashram. No association of women. Only in the Grihastha ashrama there is permission to associate with women. That also under highly restricted conditions. Only with one wife, and that also for the sake of producing Krishna conscious children and becoming responsible in raising a Krishna conscious family. All these are there. Grihastha ashrama, Grihastha dharma. Grihastha dharma. So, Prabhupada raises this question: how then can one be accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is addicted to more than 16,000 wives? And Krishna seemed to be very much attached to those queens. And he is one person. And he has 16,108 queens. And he is attached to them. So what is the proper understanding? This question may relevantly be raised by inquisitive persons really anxious to know about the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord. And to answer such questions, the sages at Naimisharanya have discussed the transcendental character of the Lord in this and in the following verses. What is that transcendental nature of Krishna different from the nature of people of this world? How is it different? So Srila Prabhupada further says, it is clear herein that the feminine attractive features which can conquer Cupid or even the supermost tolerant Lord Shiva could not conquer the senses of the Lord. Here is the difference, a distinct difference between Krishna and everyone else. Cupid's business is to invoke mundane lust. Mundane lust means this material lust. Material lust means materially attractive features result in the combination of male and female. Material attraction. Pumsas triya mithuni bhavami tayor mitho hridaya granthima. In the 5th canto, this will be explained very nicely. The material attraction resulting in material bondage. The whole universe is moving, being agitated by Cupid's arrow. The activities of the world are being carried on by the central attraction of male and female. That is the central point of material existence. A male is searching after a mate to his liking, and the female is looking after a suitable male. That is the way of material stimulus. And as soon as a male is combined with a female, the material bondage of the living being is at once tightly interlocked by sex relation. And as a result of this, both the males and females' attraction for sweet home, motherland, bodily offspring, wealth becomes the illusory field of activities. A whole field of activities opens up. Man and woman marry each other, and then the family expands. Children and relatives and friends and home and wealth and accumulation of wealth, society, friendship, community, all these things become the illusory field of activities. And thus a false but indefatigable attraction for the temporary material existence, which is full of miseries, is manifest. See, material existence means miseries. Under illusion, we cannot understand that. We always think miseries are now and then coming and going. That's what we think. But actually, we are always in the middle of miseries. Sometimes these miseries are overlooked. We are not cognizant of them. Or it doesn't bother us as much as it may bother somebody else. Just like the climatic conditions are relative. For some people, cold weather is very much pleasant for them, because their body, somehow they have made it acclimatized to the cold weather by generating a lot of heat within. And they like this cold weather. But in summer, they just can't tolerate even a little bit of heat. They cannot tolerate. And then the other people whose body is very warm, they are not so uncomfortable in summer. But in winter, they can't tolerate little cold also. The fact is, this is told by one Acharya, Govinda Das Kaviraj. Shita atapa vata varishana edina jamini jagire. We are always harassed by 4 different material conditions, climatic conditions. Shita means cold. Vata. Shita atapa. Atapa means heat. And vata means wind. And varishana, the rain. Cold, heat, wind and rain. These are sometimes there in different times of the year, and they always bother us, one or the other. Botheration is there. But we are so determined to enjoy that we will somehow make adjustment and try to live amidst such conditions, unfavorable conditions, and try to create a favorable atmosphere by adjustment. This is called material advancement of civilization. But the scriptures warn us and awaken us to the reality. It is temporary, and you are simply engaged in a hard struggle for existence. So those who are therefore on the path of salvation for going back home, back to Godhead, are especially advised by all scriptural instructions to become free from such paraphernalia of material attraction. Because material attraction makes us forget the reality. We go deeper into illusion because of material attraction between male and female. And how is this possible? To become free from this paraphernalia of material attraction? It is possible only by association with the devotees of the Lord, who are called Mahatmas. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. The Mahatmas are the pure devotees. They are always under the shelter of the internal potency of the Lord, the spiritual potency. And they are always engaged in devotional service. And such Mahatmas association will help us to become free from material attraction. Now, Prabhupada explains elaborately that this material world is such that Cupid's work is going on to keep the living entities under material bondage. But association of devotees helps us to come out of this material bondage by losing attraction for all material things, by developing spiritual attraction to Krishna. It is not done in a void. It is possible by positive spiritual attraction. And that positive spiritual attraction is by association of pure devotees. Association of pure devotees. So, it is described here, just like the Lord is transcendently situated, because of which He is never agitated by any feminine attractive features. Similarly, if we situate ourselves on the spiritual platform, all material attraction will be nullified. Attractions will be nullified completely. And we get attracted to Krishna, which is desirable, which is most desirable, which is the best, the safest and the topmost position of perfection for any living being, to get attracted to Krishna and to become attached to Krishna, to become connected with Krishna in eternal relationship of love. That is the goal. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.